Chapter 328. Can't escape. Wait, the Snake Emperor won't give up easily. It's best to let him and Kangxia lose both of them. Then I'll have my chance. Poison-killing Emperor suddenly glanced eerily at the Snake Emperor not far away, secretly sneering. At this moment, the Snake Emperor was equally hesitant in his heart. He stared closely at Kangxia under the heavenly tribulation and secretly sighed. I didn't expect this son to be so strong. Even the heavenly tribulation can't help him. I'm afraid that I'm not his opponent with my strength. Just as he was hesitating in his heart, the 80th heavenly thunderbolt descended. The vast and unrivaled sea of thunderbolts instantly drowned Kangxia and the poisonous insect emperor, and the entire sky was filled with a thunderous light. The Snake Emperor and the poisonous Slayer Emperor stared at this sea of thundering death. They hoped that such a violent heavenly tribulation would be able to cause some damage to Kangxia. I don't know if it was their prayers that moved the heavens, but this 80th heavenly thunderbolt did indeed cause damage to Kangxia. The terrifying power that blasted him into the ground, the rest of the waves causing the earth to shake. The poisonous insect emperor was even worse. His entire body was covered in blood, miserable to the extreme. Yes, almost at the same time, the Snake Emperor and the poisonous Slayer Emperor were overjoyed. It seemed that this final heavenly tribulation was extremely terrifying in its power. Hope immediately rose in the hearts of the two. They felt that at this rate, after the last heavenly thunderbolt descended, Kangxia was afraid that he would be injured even more. This was their chance. Poof! Just as they were excited, Kangxia rushed out of the ground. He seemed to have suffered a great deal of heavy injuries. His face was very pale, and he spurted out a mouthful of blood. Seeing this situation, the Snake Emperor and the Poison Slayer Emperor became even more excited. Laugh, let's see if you can still laugh later. Kangxia's expression withered, but in his heart, he was laughing coldly. All of this was his disguise. Otherwise, with his strength, this bit of heavenly thunder would not be able to cause him any harm. The reason why he did this was because Kangxia wanted to slaughter the Snake Emperor as well. After all, this guy hadn't left until now, and it was obvious that he was aiming for the same thing as the poisonous insect emperor. For this kind of person, he naturally wouldn't show any mercy. However, he was worried that he had acted too strongly, causing the Snake Emperor to flee in fear, which was why he deliberately disguised himself. At this moment, Kangxia's divine thoughts enveloped the four directions, and when he saw the flickering smile in the Snake Emperor's eyes, he knew that he had succeeded. According to past heavenly tribulation situations, after this tribulation, there will be another change. Kangxia stared at the 81st heavenly thunder that was about to descend, light flickering in his eyes. Not far away, the poison bug emperor swallowed a large amount of pills as he stared dead on at the heavenly tribulation above his head, and gave Kangxia a hateful glance. However, it was clear in his heart that after this tribulation, he had to flee immediately, or else it would be difficult for him, who had been heavily injured, to survive in the orthodox demon battlefield. Boom! The 81st heavenly thunderbolt finally descended. This one gathered all the power of the remaining calamity clouds. It was very vast. That terrifying lightning energy was almost equal to 5 times as much as the previous one. Even if Kangxia had been injured in disguise before, he couldn't help but gaze up at this time. His eyes blazed as he summoned up the vast true essence in his body, laying down a powerful defense around him. On the other side, the poisonous insect emperor had long since made a piece of protective magic treasure, almost taking out his own family's treasure. Obviously, the power of this last heavenly thunder, letting out the orifice stage, seal emperor level powerhouses all feel fearful and trembling. On the other hand, the Snake Emperor and Poison Slayer Emperor, who were watching from the shadows, were excited. To them, the stronger the heavenly tribulation, the better. Under their expectant gazes, the last heavenly thunderbolt flooded Kangxia and the poisonous insect emperor. The entire huge sea of thunder continued to boil and persisted for a full half hour. During this time, they even heard the poison bug emperor's roar of fury. It was clear that the terrifying nature of this last heavenly thunder was beyond imagination. After all the lightning dissipated, two wretched figures appeared on a ruined earth. They were Kangxia and the poison bug emperor. The poisonous insect emperor was very badly injured, but his gaze was still fixed on Kangxia with hesitation in his eyes, as if he was considering whether to flee or stay at this moment. Not far away from him, Kangxia was also injured very heavily. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. His complexion wilted for a while. His breath was very weak, obviously very heavily injured. Poisonous insect emperor, you lost this time. With a loud laugh, the snake emperor couldn't hold back any longer as he rushed towards the sky, his eyes revealing a fierce killing intent. As for the poisonous killer emperor, his eyes were staring at them dead on at the moment. His heart was hesitant. He was more cautious and felt that it would be better to watch from the sidelines for the time being. Wait until they were both defeated. Then sit back and reap the benefits of the fishes. Who are you? Seeing the sudden appearance of the snake emperor, Kangxia's expression panicked, which made the snake emperor even more elated. He smiled coldly and said, I am the one who killed you. Not far away, the poisonous insect emperor gritted his teeth and watched all of this, but did not intervene, because he knew that the current him no longer had the strength to fight with the snake emperor for the Dawnbreaker Immortal Order. Obviously, Kangxia's disguise was very successful, and the snake emperor was fooled by him. As Kangxia pretended to be flustered, the snake emperor killed over with an extremely fast speed. He manifested his original body, the nine-headed snake, with 9 huge heads, all of which emitted a greenish eerie glow. And that one bloody mouth spewed out a green arrow, shooting it towards Kangxia. Hand over the Dawnbreaker Immortal Order, and I'll give you a pain in the arse. The snake emperor's eyes were cold, and his killing intent was infinite. Even though Kangxia appeared to be heavily injured at the moment, there was still a trace of caution in his heart. So the moment he struck, it was a desperate move. The 9 snake heads were the source of his power. Each snake head was filled with vast true essence, equivalent to an out-of-body stage Seal Emperor powerhouse. 9 snake heads, that was 9 out-of-body stage Seal Emperor level energy. From this, it could be seen that the Snake Emperor was a top-notch existence amongst the outbreathing stage Seal Emperor level. In the Land of Kings, there were only some very rare invincible powerhouses that could overpower him. Therefore, the Snake Emperor was very confident and dared to strike at this time. Not far away, the venomous Insect Emperor glanced hatefully at the Snake Emperor. A trace of unwillingness flashed in his eyes, but he still decided to retreat and run towards the distance. However, not long after he rushed up into the sky, a brilliant blade came tearing through the void above his head, and the poison bug emperor's eyes instantly shrunk, and when he saw the familiar figure that stepped out from within the spatial rift, his face was filled with shock and disbelief. Chair. The poison bug emperor exclaimed in shock. In his gaze, Kangxia stepped out from within the spatial crack and slashed at him. The blade blazed fiercely and radiantly. He was simply too late to resist, and he was knocked backwards by the slash. At the same time, the Snake Emperor also realized that Kangxia, who had been attacked by himself, had long since blurred and then disappeared into the air. True essence leaves a shadow. The Snake Emperor's eyes shrunk. Then he looked towards Kangxia, who was not far away, slowly walking down from the sky, and a strong crisis steeply rose in his heart. At this moment, where was Kangxia still in the same sorry state he was in earlier? His eyes were cold and stern, like a blade, as he ruthlessly swept at the poisonous Insect Emperor and the Snake Emperor. Since you're here, stay together and cross the tribulation with me, Kangxia said indifferently. He scanned the poison bug emperor and the Snake Emperor for a moment, his gaze returning to its lightness. Then he looked towards Kangxia, a trace of gravity surfacing in his eyes. What do you mean? The poisonous insect emperor and snake emperor were stunned at his words, but they immediately realized that something was wrong, because at this moment, Kangxia looked towards the Kang Dome with a face full of gravity, and they followed suit, and they were immediately stunned by the scene in front of them, only to see that above the dome of the sky, the originally dissipated robbery cloud began to coalesce again, and it was even more massive than before. Rumble. In the midst of the boundless lightning, the massive calamity cloud emitted an unparalleled pressure, causing the two people, the poison insect emperor and the snake emperor, to instantly change color. Otherworldly heavenly tribulation. The poisonous insect emperor and snake emperor exclaimed almost simultaneously. Even if they were stupid, they knew at this time that they had been snubbed by Kangxia. And at the same time, they were very alarmed in their hearts. The power of the otherworldly heavenly tribulation was known to all, and it was a heavenly tribulation that was even more terrifying than the 99 heavenly tribulations. Surprisingly, it is a different heavenly calamity. Fortunately, the poison slayer emperor, who was hiding his breath, couldn't help but secretly celebrate his wise decision at this moment. If he had rushed out just now as well, then he would have been as unlucky as the snake emperor. At the same time, poison-killing emperor also sensed Kangxia's mind, and a wave of scorn ran through his heart. This son looks so young. I didn't expect to have such a heart. If there is no absolute certainty, it's better not to make a move. Even though the dawn-breaking immortal order is a treasure that would require a life to retrieve it. Poison-killing emperor looked deeply at Kangxia, having witnessed the poison bug emperor and snake emperor being shaded by Kangxia. His heart was jealous of Kangxia to the extreme. Without absolute certainty, he didn't want to make a move. Just when he thought then, the poison bug emperor and the snake emperor had already gone crazy. And when they felt the sky gradually forming a robbery cloud, like crazy, they headed towards the distance ****** and went. As long as the robbing cloud was not completely formed and the will of the heavenly Tao did not lock them, they still had hope to escape. Having seen the tragic situation of the poison bug emperor in the square, the snake emperor did not doubt the power of this heavenly tribulation at all. While the poison bug emperor was even more panicked to the extreme. He was now suffering from a heavy wound. If he faced the heavenly tribulation again, he would surely die. It's too late to think about leaving. Now. Humph. Seeing the two people who wanted to escape, Kangxia coldly laughed. How could he let these two people go? Immediately casting the sublime chop to chase after them, and the robbing clouds in the sky had already locked onto Kangxia, so they moved after him. The poison bug emperor is injured and is easier to deal with. He will definitely go after the poison bug emperor. The snake emperor ran at breakneck speeds, while thinking in his mind, yet when he looked back, he was nearly stunned. He only saw Kangxia with a huge calamity cloud, approaching towards him step by step, and it looked like he was about to be enveloped by the heavenly calamity as well. Stay and accompany me to cross the tribulation. Kangxia's cold voice came out, followed by a blazing blade on splitting down, blocking the path that the snake emperor was running towards. The snake emperor was stopped by the blade awnings and had to stop to deal with Kangxia as he angrily shouted, "Losing both of you won't do you any good compared to dealing with me. At my peak, the poisonous insect emperor is much easier to deal with." He didn't want to fight Kangxia, at least for now, so he took the opportunity of being slashed by Kangxia to run backwards in a hurry. Unfortunately, in front of Kangxia, who possessed the sublime slash, he couldn't escape at all, and was always enveloped by the heavenly tribulation. If the poisonous insect emperor can't escape, neither can you, Kangxia said coldly, and then an identical him rushed out of his body, holding a blood blade, executing the sublime slash, and chasing towards the poison bug emperor. Tao God, it's still only me. When the snake emperor saw this scene, his eyes shrunk slightly, and his heart was once again shocked at Kang Chon's talent. Rumble. The heavenly tribulation was about to coalesce and complete. The Snake Emperor's heart was anxious to the extreme. He roared towards Kang Chia. "Push me. I'll fight you to the death. And you'll die under the heavenly tribulation at that time as well." He began to panic once the heavenly tribulation had coalesced and was locked by the heavenly Tao's will. It would be too late for him to escape, even if he wanted to. Heaven escaping hand. However, Kang Chia didn't care about his threat at all and responded to him with a heaven escaping hand under this huge purple gold palm. The Snake Emperor was unable to escape and was dragged hard into the coverage of the heavenly tribulation. Boom. It was also at this time that the heavenly tribulation, which had been brewing for a long time, finally took shape. A supreme will descended, firmly locking onto the Snake Emperor, causing his face to change drastically. No, the Snake Emperor roared in sorrow and anger. A trace of regret flashed in his eyes. If it wasn't for his greed, he wouldn't have ended up in the same situation as the poisonous insect emperor. Luckily, I escaped quickly. The poisonous insect emperor, who was running far away, seemed to hear the Snake Emperor's sorrowful roar. His gaze shrank, and he said with some trepidation, "We have to leave this place quickly. This son is too powerful. Let the old guys within the clan deal with him."